Hey everybody, Reefgrrl here, and welcome to my channel. You can see here that, as always, I am wire management challenged. But that's not what this video is about. It's about the things we had to do to our house before we moved in to make it safe to have a giant aquarium on the main floor with a basement sump. Of course, it's always great to be able to plan ahead and build for convenience and easy access to things. But our main concern was safety. This thing was going to weigh over 4,000 pounds of tank stand, tank, water, rocks, etc. So we had to make sure it was going to be safe. If you're ever in this situation, here are a few key things to think about and plan for. Before we did anything else, we made sure we were able to have the electrical panel moved from this position. You can see it's vulnerable, over to this position. There was pushback from the builder, but ultimately, when we pointed out that it wasn't going to be safe to have 300 gallons of salt water directly above the electrical panel, they gave in. While we were paying extra to have the electrical panel moved, we figured we might as well expand to a 200 amp service. This gives us expansion space if we ever need it for equipment. Makes me feel much safer. This air exchanger came with the house, but if it hadn't, we would have put one in. We're looking at this as one aspect of humidity control. When I have 265 gallons of open, turbulent water down here, the more humidity control I can have, the better. During the summer months, our central air conditioning will also help control the humidity. Adding a little more redundancy is this room dehumidifier. It's not super big. We might have to get a bigger one. We currently have it set at 55% and it runs pretty much constantly. It drains through the water softener drain line. To keep an eye on things, we got this moisture meter. There are two sharp little pins in the top that my husband puts into various places in the wood above and around the tanks. He does this about every 3 weeks and logs the results. This way, if we start seeing an upward trend in the moisture content, we can consider what else we might need to do to control the humidity, such as run an exhaust fan out this window. This is something else that we did, having this window installed here. It also has the advantage of being close by should I need to pull in outside air for the skimmer. So it's important to deal with the electrical and the humidity control, but even more important is the structure. The first thing the builder did was double the size of this beam. The other beam that holds up the house is only half as high as this one. And notice where it's located, right near where the tank is going to be upstairs. They also built these extra walls and tripled up the joists directly above the ends, the front end here and also the back end against the wall. These stud walls are perfect. They've got electrical outlets, they've got lots of spaces for me to put stuff. You would have seen the kind of stuff I put there at the beginning of this video, but the walls here were intended to be structural support for all of that weight that's going to be directly above here. When I finally got to see this in real life and not just looking at plans, I was really happy with it. It's hard to imagine that tank upstairs having any opportunity to go anywhere. This is solid. Speaking of upstairs, here's the fish room floor. We chose tile, obviously because it's durable and also because I'm betting it'll hide a lot of saltwater splashes. We had long discussions with the flooring people about the fact the floor needed to be flat. Being as close to level as possible was also important, but flat really mattered. As a result, there are 2 layers of subfloor here and the tile is laid on top of that. And I can attest that if you put a marble down in the middle of this floor, there's nothing for the cat to chase because it doesn't go anywhere. Because we all know you can never have too many, we added extra electrical outlets in this room. Normally a room like this would have everything on one circuit, but in this room we have 4. Last but not least, we had the builder turn the closet into an alcove and install plumbing so that I could have a utility sink right in my fish room. I absolutely love it. Guess what? I have news. My tank right now is being prepared for shipping. Yep, I should have it within the next 2 weeks or so. Here are a few pictures from about 6 weeks ago. At this point, it had just been put together and the silicone still needed to cure. I'm so happy, I can't even tell you. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, why not give it a thumbs up? Thanks for watching. Stay safe, everybody.